Dear friends in Christ, we have entered the second week in the season of Advent. Pope Francis affirms that the tender consolation with which the Lord makes hope flourish in the hearts of Christians is so human and divine. In this regard, the book of prophet Isaiah is known as the book of consolation of Israel. It begins saying, "Comfort, comfort my people, says your God. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem." Now, as human beings, we all end up on a point when we drastically look for someone who can understand us. Without any exception, this is a wish of every human being. And this is one of the things that we easily do not find. Then the frustration at times gets so severe that we end up sharing with someone who seems to be okay. But the dissatisfaction, the discontentment, the regrets of having opened up becomes even more severe. And the pain of such consequences becomes greater than the actual frustration itself. Perhaps this is an experience to each of us. But the good news is that the Lord Himself draws near to console and to give peace to all who turn to Him, to all who look forward to Him. And in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 11, we read, "He tends His flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in His arms and carries them close to His heart. He gently leads those that have young." And by doing this, He accomplishes a great work. He refashions us, He recreates us, and this recreation is made even more beautiful than the creation itself. So the painful moment, the tendency to give up, the reactions to the losses that we experience, the tragedies that occurs, the failures we face, and the frequent downfalls are not brought on our way to disappoint us, but to recreate us, to make us even more beautiful, making us more functional, and to make our going more relevant to the context by getting us a bit more closer to Him. His tenderness is such that when we take one step towards Him, He takes care of all the rest. In the Bible we read, God's people were awaiting the Lord's coming. They knew He would visit them. The last words of Joseph to his brothers, "God will visit you and you shall carry up my bones from here." The Lord will visit His people. This was Israel's hope. And He would visit them with this consolation. He would make things come true. Not once, but again and again. And when the Lord draws near to us, He gives us this hope, friends. He refashions all things with hope. He closes one and opens another door for us. Our hope, therefore, during this Advent must be born from this strength of knowledge, this strength of experience. Let us welcome this time as a time of grace, as the greatest gift from God to humanity. Because incarnation is all about God's Spirit growing in us. It is living in the understanding that our growing and evolving has God within it. It is a processing of God, be it mental, spiritual, emotional, or intellectual. Consoling the disciples, drawing near to them to console them, drawing near to them to give them hope, drawing near to them with tenderness, these were Jesus' great works in the 40 days that passed from the time of resurrection to His glorious ascension. Let us think of the tenderness He showed to the apostles, to Mary Magdalene, to the disciples on the road to Emmaus, and let us believe that If this is so, thus will be even with us. May we all have a grace-filled Advent.